the Girls Who Gab.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Bailey.
Today's episode, we are going to get into the details of the most recent Grey's Anatomy episode.
Yes. By the time this episode comes out on our podcast / YouTube, it'll be a couple weeks that the episode had been aired. So today there will be a lot of spoilers if you haven't watched it. But you should. So
to be clear, it's season 16, episode 16.
Episode 16.
So it's not the season finale, right? No, because they usually do like 24 episodes or something.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a really good question. That would be a really good end. No, I feel like it's not the end because this was such a sudden thing that they had to throw it in, and I like guess we're getting
okay. We'll get into it.
Yeah. So, what are you drinking today?
I am drinking a Bacardi and the strawberry lemonade, which is the same strawberry lemonade that we talked about in episode 1 too.
Yes. And then I'm drinking Bacardi as well. I love me some good rum and some cranberry juice. So that is that. So yeah.
Do you have a cheers to that today?
I do have a cheers to that. My cheers to that is Andre and I have been spending, I don't know if I mentioned it in the first episode or not, that he and I have the same days off now. Did I mention that?
I don't think you did.
So, Andre recently got a promotion, and with his promotion, those type of managers have off Sunday and Mondays, and so it's amazing because I, for the past year, have also had Sundays and Mondays off. So recently, we've been going to church every Sunday morning, and, you know, we'll figure out what else to do with the rest of our day, and then, like, Mondays, we wake up every morning, sit here at home for a little bit, and then we go out and we do our traditional, like, new little coffee shop find.
Yes, I've been loving your Instagram posts about it.
I love it so much. It's just, so I feel like he and I are connecting now. Like, just, I mean, we've always connected. Like, yeah, but I don't know. I feel so good and giddy about it.
Yeah, getting the whole weekend together again.
It's like the traditional really nice. Family Saturday and Sunday off.
Yeah.
You have your whole work week, and then you look forward to having those 2 days off. And and now we can easily not have to take time off work. We can just plan stuff on Sunday and Mondays, which I don't know. It just works out so well for us.
I'm so jealous.
I know.
With my promotion, it's way harder for me to switch shifts around. So like I've been working Sunday to Thursday. And Matt works, like, a regular 9-to-5 job, so he works Monday through Friday. So, like, I've been working Sunday through Thursday almost a year now. But in my previous position, I had, like, coworkers that I could switch shifts with regularly. So, like, I could take the weekend off with him easier. And so with this new job, that's definitely difficult because I don't have coworkers to do that. So, like, I would have to take time off, which in general wouldn't be a big deal, but I'm like saving it up because we're going to Costa Rica in June.
Yes, yeah.
So it's like
and I can totally relate to that side of it because when I was a manager as well, it's the same thing. There's not 20 servers that you can cover like the day of cover a shift. As a manager, you have to go. There's no, like, I don't think I ever called out once as a manager. Yeah. Besides when I went.
And, like, being sick is a little bit different than, like, just, I want to take one day. I
don't feel like working today.
Yeah. Or even just, like, trading. Like, will you work my Friday for your Monday or something like that.
So, yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
And
I think that's my pour one out. Hate it.
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That's my pour one out. But my cheers to that, I think my cheers to that this week. Ooh, I got to go to yoga this Sunday for the first time in like months because when the school semester started and right before that, my schedule changed and I wasn't off at the times that my regular Sunday and Tuesday and Thursday yoga classes are. So before, I was picking one of those 3 days to go, and it's about the instructor. Yoga's totally about the instructor. If you don't like yoga, it's because you haven't found the right person to teach it.
I never tried it. I don't know, but
it's amazing. It's so great for you. And then there's a bunch of different types of yoga and all that stuff too, which is like a whole nother episode in and of itself. But yeah, so I was being able to, like, find one of those days to go each week, and then my schedule changed, and now I work during every single class that I go to. But last week, I worked on a Saturday because we had an event, so I was able to take Sunday off, so I was able to go to the class.
Oh, that's exciting, because if you, for those of you who are listening / watching, last episode, your pour one out was that you weren't as like present in the gym or yoga or like all those classes. So that's really good to hear. Yeah. That's good. That's a good cheers.
And I did do really good this week. Like I went to the gym all the days that I
persistent a little bit more. I love it.
I actually woke up to go because I hadn't done that at all last week.
And your husband though, he's a
he was actually just telling me that I've been really motivating him.
Oh, you both are motivating each other and you didn't even know it.
So cute, right?
Look at that.
Gag.
I love it. I live for love. So.
Oh my god. Yeah. So like he is totally a morning. He wakes up really easily.
Yeah.
So like we both set our alarm at 5, and I swear even if I get a good amount of sleep, like all the stuff that goes on with the sleeping side of things and being tired, when my alarm goes off at 5. No, like I'm not ready to wake up. I don't want to. I will snooze 10 million times, and I just want to like roll back over and be like, I don't need to. Like, I don't need to get up right now because I don't have to be at work. Like, I don't have to be anywhere.
There's nowhere that's accounting on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Accounting?
Accounting?
Just counting.
I was thinking of accountability.
Yeah,
that's what I was thinking of.
You were.
Wow, that's embarrassing. Anyways.
Yeah, so without him, I wouldn't be.
Andre does that for sure. I say a lot of the times that Cassie is my husband, and then she tells me that like me and her husband are similar.
Yes,
so in this case, Andre does that. He wakes up. He always opens. He's a manager, right? And so he is always scheduled at 7 a.m. He leaves here at 6 because he works very far. And so he's always
places because he used to work really close.
He did. It's like 5 minutes away, and now it's just not that. So it's weird. So anyways, he'll set his alarm, and he always talks to his phone. Hey Siri, like wake me up at 5. Da, da, da. And then she repeats herself back, and Amelia's sleeping, and I'm like all annoyed and get itched under my skin.
Your finger.
Yeah, I tell him all the time. But anyways, moral of the story is he'll set his alarm, and then he'll turn over to me and be like, "Love, can you set your alarm for 5 minutes past what I just did?" And I'm like, oh my gosh. So every morning we have 2 alarms going off, and it's aggravating.
Well, both me and Matt set our alarm at the same time.
Okay.
And then Matt wakes up the first time and doesn't use a snooze. I don't sleep through it. I just snooze it.
He doesn't use a snooze?
No. Well, he doesn't have to. He's like awake the first time it goes off. He's crazy.
Oh.
So he like...
he stops it, you mean. I thought you meant he doesn't push anything, so he lets it keeps going.
No. He turns it off, and then he just doesn't have to have another alarm goes off. Like, it goes off, he wakes up, he gets on his phone usually and, like, sits in bed for 10-15 minutes.
You gotta, get your body awake, your eyes.
But he, is awake. Whereas if I turned my alarm off, I would sleep for another 2 hours.
Me too.
I would not wake up. So my alarm... I snooze it over and over and over and over again in the mornings.
That's Andre, and I get so irritated. I'm like, can you just get up?
Yeah, he doesn't like it.
Oh, either, yeah, so one and the same. That's hilarious. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay.
So
I just watched it. Okay, so a backstory is that I haven't watched the last 2 seasons at all. 2.5 seasons?
Yeah, you're pretty behind, and then for you to just watch this episode was pretty gutsy. Although it was all about one character, they didn't stem off on any stories except for Bayley.
The only part that I was clearly confused on was that little scene between
which
Bayley
is such
and
a good storyline. You should watch.
Husband.
You need to watch.
I know, I do.
Yeah, it's
I did just
really
finish
good.
I've been binging my 600 Pounds Life on Hulu.
Okay, don't even know what that is.
It's a TLC reality TV show about people who are obese and asking this particular doctor for gastric bypass surgery.
Got it.
And each episode is about them, they follow a year of them starting the process of losing weight to a year later.
Okay. The outcome of it, basically. Okay.
So I've been watching that.
Well,
and I just finished. So now I can watch a new binge show.
New, I guess? Sure.
Just
catch up.
Decide on a new. Focus on another one.
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah, so I honestly had no intention of, restarting any Grey's Anatomy as of right now. We've talked in the first episode about how, we both really love this show, but I haven't been watching it because... I tend to go in ebbs and flows of this show too. I get annoyed with it because it is over dramatic and ridiculous. Well, especially
I feel like lately with more people being gone and not present, you know, if you've been watching since, season 1 religiously, you definitely have fallen out of love, per se.
Yeah, like I'm
I'm
not attached to as many
I took
of
a
the
break too.
characters.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
But then finding out that Alex was leaving, which is one of the original 5, I was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna watch this.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I saw did you post on Instagram that you cried or something?
Oh, I posted yesterday, like before the episode got aired.
Yes.
Like a picture of the Instagram post itself on Grey's Anatomy page.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to cry. I did. If
So did
you
I.
watch the episode, I cried every letter, which was the whole episode.
I definitely cried more than once too.
Yeah.
I like teared up a few times, but I'm really interested to see how this episode of our podcast goes because I think we disagree on our feelings.
No, we do. 100%. I already know it because when you were texting me, you were like angry.
I am so angry.
And I specifically did not text you about it because I knew that we were going to talk about it. And I was like, we need to we're going to talk about it all. And yeah, just fresh and raw. And that's that.
Yeah. So let's start. Okay, so starting with, we're going to go like, I think we should just go chronological through the episode. Like, let's start with the Meredith letter.
Yeah, okay.
And then
so,
move on.
okay, so my feels... Okay, no, actually,
But I have a
let's
question
rewind a
before
little
we
bit.
do that. Because, like, obviously I haven't watched any of the other episodes. So, like, was there any lead up to him leaving? What did I miss going into this episode?
Right, so that's why I wanted to rewind a little bit.
Okay.
So, there wasn't really a lead. So I feel like lately in the Grey's Anatomy episodes, they have been focusing on such other little stories because everyone is growing. Everyone's going their relationship. So it's been focusing on, what's his name? The gay couple in the episode. It's been focusing on them sometimes. It's been focusing on Richard and Catherine Fox a little bit. And so, like, you don't see everyone every episode.
Avery.
So it wasn't...
Catherine Avery,
No,
right?
it's Catherine Fox because
you
need to watch the show.
Okay.
So, those... yeah, y'all will get what I'm saying. I promise.
Somebody is listening and going like, dang, Cassie's not a real fan.
Yeah, no, you're a fake and a phony. No. So there's a lot of people that you don't see in every episode now. So it's not... It's not.
So they haven't like
not
focused in
normal
on
to
Alex.
Exactly. And a while ago, so this is a spoiler for you and for those of you that also haven't been watching. A big spoiler is that Alex left, obviously, Grace Sloan Memorial and is now taking charge of a brand new hospital. I think it's called Press or something like that. And he's building it up, and he's their chief there. And like a couple other doctors went with him too, Richard, because he lost his job and blah blah blah. And so that's another reason why we didn't see him a lot, because he was at a completely different hospital. And it showed him every, like, now and then. But,
so this was, I feel like we're going to have to, like, talk in 2 different parts about this show. Not, like, literally 2 episodes. But, like, we're going to need to talk about, like, the fact that this is a TV show and what was going on with the actors. And, like, we can mess around and, like, theorize about the writing aspect of this show, but then, like, also focusing on the characters on the other side of things. Because, like, I had lots of feelings about, like, the writing-wise versus the... Yes. Because I think, we'll get into it.
So that is where I think we have very different opinions about it, though, because I feel like you're upset with the writing.
No, I think the writing is why it makes sense. Like... Yeah. Okay, overall, let's just go through, like, my very overarching feeling is that, like, one... Since Izzy left, I have had a problem with the way that they wrote Alex's feelings toward Izzy because I find it a little bit unbelievable that he wouldn't have been angry with her. Like, more angry than still wondering about her and in love with her and, like, all of that. Because she left him. Like, she left him with no explanation. And, like, talking about the writing, the only reason that Izzy felt unrealistic in that part of the show. Yeah. Because there's no way she would have done that. But she didn't do that. The actor left the show and Shonda Rhimes had to figure out a way to write her off.
What to do with her, yeah. Which is the same thing that's happening with Alex Karev. Yeah. It's not like he could have come back and physically been seen on the episode. Right. He had to do something. Like, I can guarantee you also that, like, technology nowadays, that voice is all computerized of all the letter readings. Because I don't think
his leaving... he left?
His leaving was so sudden that, like, it wasn't foreseen. And so, because I read a lot about Intuit because I'm a nerd
I want
like
to get
that.
into this, too.
Yeah, so it's
That's
just, I think that, I mean, and that's been a thing, like, you can computerize and create a whole thing. He's been talking for 15, 16 seasons now. All the words that was in the letter was pulled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so, like, there's the aspect of all of this is, like, I have an issue with, like, the way Izzy left, which brings me to I have an issue with the way Alex reacted.
And that's why they're perfect together.
But I also have a issue with, like, I think it was unrealistic that Alex wouldn't have tried to ask Joe to go with him, like, because I find it unrealistic that he's still that in love with Izzy. Like, I just have...
No, but if you like... No, because he's not that in love with Izzy. He was saying, okay, yes, in the episode, he's saying he is in love with Izzy and he loves Joe. In love and love, different. But on the same hand, he said in the letter to Meredith, in the letter to Bayley, in the letter to Joe, each letter he stated, and to Richard, that he was staying for the kids because of how he grew up. So it wasn't solely for Izzy, it was for the kids. And I think that is amazing.
Which is why I think that it would have made more sense had he asked Joe to come with him. Because I can totally get behind the realistic aspect of he needs to be closer to the kids that he found out existed, and that he wants to be the dad that he didn't get to have by being there.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily mean he has to be with Izzy. Like,
but then Joe would have to leave the show.
Exactly. So then it gets into, like, writing versus real character development.
Yeah, realist, of course.
So, like, that's why I think, like, this is the only way it could have been done, unless they wanted to kill him off.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. I am super, super happy that they didn't kill him off, because two of Meredith's closest, I say two, she was, like, her and, McDreamy, I couldn't remember his name for a second. They were so close for, like, they were in love and relationship. Their relationship was all over the place. But the two people that she was closest with on the show, Alex Karev and Christina Yang. So I love the fact that those two people are the two that they didn't kill off. Okay, obviously they didn't kill off Izzy, as seen in this episode.
Yeah, which is a whole different thing. And that's why I find that unbelievable.
They bring back Christina often in text, not in visual contact, because
Sandra Oh is not on the show.
Exactly.
But Christina Yang still exists in the universe.
She's in a different country. They text all the time. It's like, and they show that often. So I think I'm in love with the idea that, like, maybe they didn't kill. Yeah, maybe we'll get a touch of. I was texting a friend this morning that's also a Grey's Anatomy fan, and, like, same thing. Like, we're both on the agreement.
Yeah, I'm glad. The reason that I'm not glad they didn't kill Alex off is because I think that this is more unrealistic.
I mean,
like, cause he's really gonna leave Meredith and never see her again. Like, I don't believe
or
that either.
Joe. Do you know how much crap they've been through, guys?
No way. Like, there's no way he would leave Joe like that. I don't believe it.
Literally, Cassie and I were texting before, and I was telling her there is no way unless they kill him off, plain as day, or he and Joe run away together.
Yeah.
Like,
so,
that's what we were
clearly, obviously, I think that this is where you get into, like, the writing aspect.
Yeah.
The writers have to deal with what they've got.
They have to work with it.
The actor of Joe Wilson, I'm sure, has a contract I would assume she wants to stay on the show if she didn't leave. So it has nothing to do with her, the actor-wise, whereas this all has to do with the actor who plays Alex Karev.
Right.
So, like, if you could have it in a perfect universe, I think it would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if you wanted to bring kids and Izzy into
the picture. Yeah, what if Izzy moved back? But of course.
Well, but then that's the whole thing.
That's the real
Because she's not in the
part
episode. I was curious if they were going to bring her in.
All they showed was a blonde girl. Alex isn't even in the episode. All they showed is a blonde girl from behind. Or like when Alex and Izzy were sleeping in bed and the kids would crawl into bed. That was in his writing to Meredith.
Yeah.
It was just they were just like laying down, face down. It was just the back of their head. You can't see them. Yeah. So that's crazy. Yeah. So let's talk about Joe Wilson for a second, because I don't know if you knew. Yeah, I don't know if you knew. So recently she was put into, like, a psych ward in the hospital.
Oh.
Because she went to go find her mom, and she found her mom, and her mom was totally, like, disowned her again. And so it, like, broke her down. And so she came back and she didn't talk to Alex. She didn't talk to anyone. She stayed at home, was off work for I don't know what that time period was, and was like really like went through an emotional state.
There's
and like
no way he would have left her.
So
Are you kidding me?
Okay, we're past that.
I'm gonna get mad. I'm gonna get mad. That makes it even worse. Are you kidding?
But what I'm thinking is the show, Shonda Rhimes, everyone participating in this, are they going to put her through another emotional state and give that to us viewers, or are they going to make her strong and push through this? This is a big part of her. She was in love with Alex. Like, what is going to happen?
I'm so upset right now.
I know.
I can't wrap my head
You can't
around
see her face for those of you that are just listening. She's like, I'm talking, and her hand is like composed in front of her face. She's like calming herself.
So like, and this is like why I'm so ridiculous with shows and stuff, because like in my head, obviously they're not real people, but like good writing shows that you make these people, these characters 100% rounded. They're human, like they have full lives, and I think Shonda Rhimes does a really good job with that. I mean, the show's over dramatic. There's like been 14 million people who have died, and it's ridiculous. And like, how many times have they all been through some weird traumatic event? Like, what are the chances? Yes, all of that's unrealistic.
It's so funny that we keep talking about how people die. There is a lot of people that haven't died. Cali, Arizona.
No, I don't mean like died off.
What is the name? No, I know,
April.
but nope, not April.
Lexi?
Although, yes, April.
Lexi did die.
Lexi did die. No. McDreamy's wife. Why can't I? She has private practice.
Montgomery.
Okay, yeah, like she didn't die. But the big characters
I just mean
died.
like also, even if they didn't die,
like...
Yeah, and also even if they didn't die, there's been like a bunch of traumatic, there's been a shooting, there's been a plane crash. Like, what are the chances that these 5 people have experienced so many crazy things in their lives? Like, obviously this is unrealistic. But with that said, I think Shonda Rhimes and the other writers in the show do a really good job of making these individual people really real. Yeah. Like, well-rounded and all of that stuff. So, like, that's why I get a little bit, not a little bit, a lot of bit mad when suddenly you throw in this weird character development that doesn't make any sense, because overall we've been with these characters, especially that first 5, for so long. We know them so well, like, and the writers have made them so real. So when you have to work with the actors' schedules or
real life,
this part, then you have to throw something in. You're breaking
our hearts.
You have to like throw something in that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, sorry. Joe went through something recently.
So I just think I'm interested to see how they're going to like.
I just threw an ice back into my cup. And
she drank it and then just spit it back in the cup. Okay.
I do that all the time. Sorry.
That's funny. That is funny. I'm interested to see where the show is going to take her character, if they're gonna make her go through another emotional state. But I don't know, because at the end of this episode, she literally was like yes to her best friend, like, let's go drink.
Yeah, who is that guy?
He's really good friends with her. What is his name? I'm horrible with names, y'all. It's weird because I'm really good with names in real life, but like putting it in front of me, I don't know, but.
Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah. It's going to bother me now, though. So if I randomly interrupt myself, it's because I thought of his name. Yeah. Anyways, they were going to go day drink, and then she got a text from a doctor to fill in. And then she was like, she got up all positive and was like, I'm going to go to work. Yeah.
But I feel like not knowing this part of the show and her background, like, recently, but I also feel like a lot of times people do that. They're like, oh, I'm going to compartmentalize and, like, I can't handle the emotional things, so I'm just going to go to work and do my thing. That doesn't mean that it won't happen later.
Yeah. But although it's not just this one person that he affected, so I think that's another really good thing, that it's literally everyone that his leaving has affected, and I'm talking the show, not just us. So
I'm also wondering,
so
like,
that's good. She'll have people.
Yeah, but with that said, like, so Meredith and Joe from seasons past, at least. I don't know what their relationship is like now, but Joe and Gray and Meredith have had, like, not an issue, but like Meredith has known Alex so much longer than Joe has been around. Yeah. And she was there for Izzy and Alex and everything, and so, like,
she knows both relationships.
Yeah, so, like, her relationship with Alex is different, and she's not, I feel like Meredith isn't just simply rooting for Joe. Like, she roots for Alex. And at the end of the day, Meredith, I feel, will be on Alex's side no matter what. Like, even in the scene where she reads the letter, and at the end, she's, like, laughing, like, smiling.
Because he said something giggly, or, like, about his kids. She started crying emotionally. And then, like,
so, like, it feels like she's on board with this decision he made. And so I'm curious to see if we're gonna see Joe be angry about his decision. Because he left her.
I know.
He left her, and it, like, I know that he has his reasons, like, and they're
good reasons-ish. I would never leave
the kids.
Andre,
I totally understand the kids. Like, I get him wanting to be near his kids. What I can't get behind, I've said it already, is that I don't understand why he wouldn't ask her to come with him. Yeah, and that's literally simply the writing aspect of it. Yeah. I don't believe that Alex would have done that. Like, if we're talking about the character. Yeah. I think that it only didn't happen because the writing couldn't make it happen.
I agree.
Because he wasn't willing to film or whatever. I don't have an answer for you, but, like, yeah.
I agree. I definitely agree.
I think that's why I'm mad, is because it doesn't... Like, some of it matches, but not all of it matches.
The person that he's become on this show as his character just wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
It's not in his character to do that.
Wouldn't do it without Joe. Like, he would go and be a dad. He would go and choose his kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I don't think he would choose Izzy. And even in the letters, he doesn't choose Izzy. He tells her...
He keeps saying, I love Joe. I love. Yeah, there was no past tense using.
Tells Joe that if it was just Izzy, he would have come back.
Yeah. Well, even he was in the letter to Meredith. He was like, please don't come knock on my door and convince me, because you of all people can convince me and I would come back. But this is something that I don't want to leave / can't leave. So, yeah.
I don't like it.
I think...
I'm really bitter.
Well, I think the show did a great job.
Of course,
I'm upset. I'm an emotional person. Okay, so funny story. So I was out last night with my husband, with Andre, and we were at Dave & Buster's, and we're sitting at the bar top, and then I, like, get on my phone for a second, and I go on Instagram, and I follow Grey's Anatomy.
Last night was Thursday. I completely didn't even realize the
connection here. What? Come on.
That's how long it's been since I've been in the Grace train.
So insane. I watch it religiously, literally. Okay, so we were sitting at the bar top, and I look at my phone. I follow Grey's Anatomy on their social media on Instagram. So I see a picture that they posted, and it was a picture of the two kids, like, just running and looking at each other. And I was all, okay, this has to be pertaining to Alex, because...
Did they prep that Alex was leaving before? Had they...
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, did you see my Instagram story
That's
where
what
it was
thinking.
Like, we're saying goodbye?
Yes.
Like, the past week, all of their posts on social media have been about the goodbye to Alex Karev and, like, the leaving and blah, blah, blah. So, but I think it's really good that the show did that, on a side note, because, like, all of us have been wondering where he is. And so it was good for them to warn us, because this would have been a curveball, I guess. Yeah. Kind of, sort of. So.
No, yeah, I agree.
So, anyways, I saw the picture of the kids, and I was like, oh, this has to be about Alex. It's all they've been posting about for weeks, and today is the airing of the episode. It is about him. I was so set on that. Yeah. And then the caption was what he wrote in the letter, saying, like, I can't wait for you to come visit them so they can call you Auntie Mare. You would love them, and they would love... Oh, I just had the chills right now. You would love them, and they would love you. And then, like, that's when she starts crying and stuff on the show. But anyways, I was like, oh, my God, Alex has kids? So then I went even more into depth, and I hadn't seen the episode yet. I was out enjoying myself with my husband, and I read the captions, and I got so upset with myself.
That's why.
And then the first caption that popped up was, I'm so mad that they brought Izzy into this, blah, blah, blah. And immediately...
You mean comments, not captions. Is that what
That's what I meant. That's what I meant. The comments. I started reading the comments, and yeah.
Ooh, mistakes.
100%. I knew what I was doing when I clicked it, and I was so upset with myself when I clicked comments.
That's what I saw. That's what I was talking about. You posted something about how you already spoiled yourself.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. I'm so upset. So I read that, and immediately I slam my phone down, and I look at Andre, and guys, I'm not even kidding you. Tears fell down my cheek, and Andre's like, what just happened? Like, are you okay? What's wrong? And I was like, Grey's Anatomy, back at it again. I'm so upset. And and then I'm like.
Did he roll his eyes so hard?
He did. He rolled his eyes so hard, and he just continued to eat his ribs and our nachos.
Okay, but I have a short side note story of Andre, a memory that I have from very, very early on in your relationship, is that me and you were sitting on the couch watching Grey's Anatomy, and he, like, came home from work, or, like, maybe he was, like, hanging out in the other room or whatever, and he comes in, he was like, oh my gosh, you guys are watching Grey's Anatomy, you know, like, total boy response, rolling his eyes, whatever. And we're like, yeah, it's really good, and, like, whatever. And then he started asking me questions about, like, the surgery that was happening, and I, like, said, oh, they're, like, doing, I don't remember. And then he was like, wait, and then he sat on the couch.
Yes, and then he still, to this day, will do that. He'll judge me for all of my shows that I watch, but he'll sit his butt down and then ask me all these questions. And then you know what I do? I'm like, okay, I need to focus, so I'm going to pause this. I push pause, and he's like, no, I'm done asking questions. And then I'll go and play it again. He's like, okay, pause it, because I really want to know what's going on. And then I'm like, oh my God.
That's amazing.
So, anyways, yeah, I cried while drinking a cocktail and eating nachos at Dave & Buster's last night. And
amazing.
I was
just from seeing a preview.
And I didn't even watch it yet, so.
That's amazing.
I was upset with myself.
Yeah. That's another reason. Okay, going back to these kids for a second, because I also don't believe that Alex wouldn't have been mad that Izzy had kids 8 years ago and never told him.
They're 5.
Okay, 5 years. They're 8 years old, I bet you, the actors.
Okay, probably. Because about High School Musical, they're all in their 20s and they're high schoolers, so.
But they looked older than 8. Anyway,
wow,
it doesn't matter.
That comparison.
I mean,
talk about the movies that I watch. So sad.
Didn't you just recently watch?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Camp Rock? What?
I love Camp Rock. Oh my gosh, that totally relates to our quote later. Anyways.
Oh, you're right.
It totally does.
That was not pun intended. That is awesome. Yeah. You'll get it.
What? Okay, so yeah, I don't believe Alex wouldn't have been angry with her for keeping his kids a secret from him for 5 years. Like, I get where he's coming from in his letters about how, like, he signed the rights for her to choose to use the embryos or whatever that she froze with his sperm and all that. Like,
right.
Not saying that part of it doesn't make sense, but, like, I just don't believe that he would be willing to give her a chance. Are you kidding me? That is
where you have to think about the writing and what they had to put up with, because they couldn't show them. Because, yeah, you're right. They probably did get in a fight about it. But they can't show that because they can't be on the week he wasn't on the show.
Because I think that's where we should go next, is what you know about, like, the actor leaving the show and everything. But because
it's not that much, but yes.
I didn't look into anything beforehand, so I was sitting there watching this episode going, like, man, are they gonna bring Izzy back for, like, the last 10 minutes for, like, any sort of scene with them reconnecting, like, anything? And, like, nothing happened.
Ooh, which goes back to my comment about, like, technology nowadays, they can use your voice. They used her voice. There's a scene where she's calling out to the kids, and it's totally Izzy voice, you could tell. Yeah. But it's just pulled because she's been gone from the show for how long now? Yeah. You know what I mean?
And if they were able to get
her back,
Katherine Heigl, is that her name? If they were able to get Katherine Heigl for one line, then they would have used her for a whole scene.
Yes, exactly.
Like, they wouldn't have just used her for one line, because I would very much guess that she's expensive at this point.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
So they would have used that money to its limits.
Agreed. So, literally all I know, not that much at all, I just looked it up because me, as a watcher, I've been noticing that, one, he's been gone and not in any scenes at all whatsoever.
Has Joe still been there, though? Because she still works at the hospital.
Joe still works at Graceland. Okay. But I also realized some... Oh my gosh, I just got mind blown in my own mind. I just realized that the reason why they had to make Catherine Fox a mean lady, because I hate her right now, honestly, she had to buy the hospital that Alex works at, probably because he was going to be gone, so there was going to be no chief. Oh, it makes so much sense now. Anyways, I just had a big epiphany. Okay, what was I saying before that?
So he's been missing for a while.
He's been missing, and there's been a lot of references. Like, Alex he's not picking up my phone calls, or like Alex said he visited his mom, but like his mom said he's not there, and like little things like that. So like I knew this.
So
was
they
coming.
have been setting something up.
Yeah, it's definitely been like foreshadowed.
Yeah,
so.
very subtly.
Mm-hmm.
I almost said shittily.
Yeah. So literally all I knew is when I noticed all these little things, I started looking up, and he just like his last episode, if you realize, was like back in fudge. I don't even know, but it wasn't recently. Wow. And he had just turned in his resignation. And resignation, and he was gone. So it wasn't like a notice. It wasn't like a, I'll end the show with you. It was just, so either he got another offer, or like personally something's happened, or I don't know. I haven't looked up further, so.
Well, wait. No, it wasn't him. The actor who played Mark Sloan, that for a second I thought was the actor who played Alex Karev, he was gone from the show right before Mark Sloan dies in the plane crash. He was gone from the show for a period of time. Like, he wasn't in episodes like that because he was in rehab because he was an addict.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and like
I didn't know that.
I think, if I remember correctly, the plane crash episode, that the only person they knew for sure that was going to die in that episode, like initially when they started writing it, was him, because he wanted to go to longer treatment stuff. So they knew that he was going to die. And then Shonda Rhimes chose to have Lexi leave the show because
if he was going to die, she kind of had to. Well, not
like,
that, but
like based on the article that I read, like all those years ago now, it was basically like Lexi's character had been so cyclical. Like it was all about like this rough and tumble relationship between her and Mark, and the decision of like, do we have kids, or I'm too young to have kids, or like I want to do this, or I don't want to do this. And then there's Alex, and like it, like there was no more growth for her. Yeah. And so Shonda Rhimes didn't feel like she had that character had more to do on Grey's, and so she chose to kill her off to make this episode even more intense with multiple deaths.
Dramatic.
Because like Mark Sloan doesn't die in that episode. He survives
he's in bed for a while, and then finally that episode.
The next episode, I think, is when
you
find out that he's dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, there's definitely been lots of behind the scenes stuff that have gone on with like those intense.
I mean, and you have to know that. I mean.
Yeah. I'm honestly amazed that this season has had 16, like this show has had 16 seasons.
Well, even at 15, because I remember when 15 they signed, they were like, oh, we're the longest like doctor show to go, and then like when they hit season 15, episode 15, that was a big thing, and they had this, pardon me, big celebration for it. Yeah. And so see, like this is big.
Yeah, they're getting up to the longest running TV show period. Yeah. If they haven't already hit it. I'm not sure. I know Friends was the longest running for a while. Yeah. I don't know if they've...
Not including soap operas, that's of course.
Well, yeah, they like separate them in weird categories. I know. But right now, or like the thing to be is Friends, I'm pretty sure. It currently has the longest running.
That's like their goal.
Yeah. That's the next thing to hit.
Oh boy, Grey's Anatomy, how it's changed my life, our lives, your lives, everyone's lives.
Yeah. How did you guys feel about it? Let us know.
Yeah, please let us know.
Wait, before we move on to our ending segment, who's your favorite character of all time?
Oh shoot, that was a curveball. That was
sorry.
You could have prepped me with that. Shoot. I don't know. Is it too cliche to honestly say Meredith Grey? God, she's been through it. Mm-hmm. It's definitely not Bailey.
No,
I'm not a fan of her. Her attitude, like, ugh.
I like Bailey as the person who's like in season 1 when she's almost the antagonist because she's the boss and she's the one that bugs all the interns. I like her in that role.
Yeah, agreed.
And there's certain scenes throughout the seasons. There's certain episodes throughout the seasons where I do like when she like shows her heart. Mm-hmm. But overall, I don't love her.
So, okay, because you mentioned that you have no idea what's going on with Bayley. To hit topic on that before we end really quick is the reason why you literally don't know anything.
Well, now I know that there was some Joey.
She was
involved.
pregnant.
Yeah, he mentions a miscarriage in that scene too.
Okay, I didn't catch that.
So there's the scene with what's his name, Warren.
Mm-hmm.
In the scene with Warren, Warren brings up, or I don't remember who says it, but in that scene they mention the miscarriage and they mention Joey, the teenager, and he agrees because she basically says like, your life shouldn't be a chance, which is such a good part. I really loved that monologue. She does do great monologues.
No, she's a great like I just
she's just not my favorite human.
So no, she was pregnant, had a miscarriage, and that was like recent, like 4 or 5 episodes. I think within, and so she was really heartbroken, and then like soon after they brought in this boy who was orphaned and had like other like orphan brothers and sisters. I don't know if it was brother and sister or just brothers, but they weren't like biologically brothers and sisters. They were just within the same orphanage and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And so anyways,
Bayley
and Bayley really took an interest in him and like focused on him as a patient and like spent days with him like doing homework and stuff like that. And immediately from the beginning I said, she's going to adopt him. Like, there's no doubt that the show put this together perfectly. Yeah. And it was just such good timing. And so I knew it was coming. And so, anyways, last episode, she asked him to come home. And then Warren got mad. It was a complete surprise to Ben. Yeah, he had no idea. And so I think he reacted really well. Like, I just want to know, like, of course he's welcome. He's ours, but yeah. So
anyways, and I loved that scene too, because they both point out that those characters make these huge life-changing decisions without talking to each other, and they're in a marriage. Like,
you change jobs, like you change sweaters. I loved that. Or careers, or whatever she said, yeah.
Is he still a firefighter?
He is still a firefighter. Season 19. Which I haven't watched.
Station 19.
What did I say? Season 19? Maybe I'm... God, my words today. Station 19. The only episode I've seen is when we did when Grey's Anatomy did a crossover with them. I was forced to watch that.
I don't think I watched it. I think I stopped watching before
It's literally, you have to watch the Station 19 before you watch the Grey's Anatomy episode.
Because it doesn't make
any sense. They didn't do one episode where it's, so it made no sense. But anyways, I've heard really good things about it. I really probably should watch it, but I feel like I'll watch it when this season of Grey's is over, because my other show that I just started watching is over too, so I'll find something else.
What show
that'll
have you
be
been
my
watching?
kick. Prodigal Son. Prodigal Son?
Oh yeah, you told me about that one.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Bad acting, but it's good. We talked about this already, but yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
So, anyways, that's what's going on with Bayley, and that's that. And that was everything that was in that episode.
Do you have a favorite character?
Oh yeah, we're still.
You didn't answer.
Yeah, you're right. I totally. Okay. I'm gonna say it's Meredith Grey. I love her. She's been through hell and back, and I just think she's so strong, and she handles things so well, and she loves every being. She's like, I just love her,
dude. This is so cliche because my favorite character is Christina Yang.
And you're my person!
So we're annoying. Oh my god, we need to get off of this. Okay, we're awful.
Oh, no, I love it because it's so perfect, but it wasn't intended.
Yeah. But do you think you're more Meredith and I'm more Christina? Yeah, for sure, right? Well, our favorite character is the one we're more alike to.
Oh, shoot. I don't know. In some part, I feel like I'm Meredith Grey.
I mean, obviously, like, they're overdramatic and, like, extreme versions of reality.
I don't know. I feel like in some cases, I'm definitely Christina Yang. She's more, like, aggressive in certain things, where you're aggressive, but I also feel like you're very
I'm also, like,
aggressive.
What's the word I'm looking for? Because, like, people pleaser doesn't sound exactly right, but, like, in a given situation, I'm, like, pretty good at, like, diffusing. Mm-hmm. In certain situations.
Yeah.
Like, especially in the workplace, I feel. I'm really... Now. Not as a...
Yeah.
Not as a server. Because as a server, I used to yell at my manager. It was great. Oh. But I got what I wanted.
Shut up. That's Christina Yang.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Oh, that is so perfect. I love that. I love that for us.
Quote.
Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. Okay, so quote of the day of the episode is actually going to be some lyrics. So I'm reading it off because She picked it for today. So, the quote of the day is, why am I always looking for a ride or die? Because mine's the only heart I'm going to have for life. After all the times I went and fucked it up, I wonder when I love me is enough. That is by Demi Lovato, and it is in her new song, right? Is that what you said?
Mm-hmm. It just dropped today that we're filming.
Oh, look at that. And it's called I Love Me. So, my take on it is just, I don't know, love yourself, man. I'm all about, like, body positivity and just, like, life and, like, just loving what you do and all those things. Mm-hmm. So that's really my only take on it. I didn't have too much time to think about this, so I'll let Cassie kind of explain it.
Okay, well, two things. I'm a firm believer that if you're, like, trying to find, if you're in this situation where you're, like, trying to find the person that you want to be in a relationship with, it's not going to work unless you're happy being with yourself first. Mm-hmm. So, like, if you're looking for somebody because that's what's going to make you happy, then you won't find it. Like, It's not going to happen because you're going to keep settling for something thinking, well, at least that's better than how I am by myself. Or you're going to, like, try to push it because you're like, oh, well, this guy or this person or whatever is cute, or whatever the case is, you're going to keep pushing for it because there's this one thing you like about that person, so then you're going to, like, try to force it and it won't work. So, like, my big thing is, like, you got to be happy being with yourself, by yourself, and just happy.
Love yourself.
Because, and loving yourself, because then is when you are able to open yourself up to somebody who matches what you want in life. And, like...
Or feeds you more of that goodness.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's, like, the big overarching thing. I think it matches really well with our episode today because Alex needs to love himself.
He does. He needs to love himself, and that's what he's doing, and
because
she doesn't agree.
He shouldn't have forgiven Izzy. Are you kidding me? I'm so mad. Okay, we need to go.
I'm just excited to see where else this is going to go. Anyways, I've already said that.
Okay. I'm so bitter. Okay, that's our episode.
That is it.
Cheers.
Cheers.